Okay, we're talking about proportions. And proportions are two ratios that are set equal to each other. So for example, if we had a ratio that was 1 to 2, we would write it as a fraction like that. And then to make a proportion here, we'd put an equal sign, and then we would have another ratio that was equivalent to that 1 to 2. So let's say 2 to 4. So you can think of this in terms of fractions. You could say, yeah, I can reduce 2 over 4 or 2/4 to 1/2. They're the same thing. Or if you're thinking about this in terms of ratios, you could say, if I take a ratio of 1 to 2 and I multiply it by a scale factor of 2, 2 times 2 would be 4, 1 times 2 would be 2. That works out, so this is a proportion. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about proportions. Let's take a look at a problem. It says, which of the following forms a proportion with 4 over 5? So this is a ratio of 4 to 5. And I think the best way to think about this one, or test this one, is say, what's the scale factor? Is there a scale factor that will work here? So here's my 4 to 5 ratio, and I'm going to multiply it by something, and it's supposed to equal 8 to 20. So if I ask myself, what do I multiply 4 by to get 8? That's easy, that's 2. And then I'd have to put a 2 down here at the bottom of the scale factor. And now I'm going to multiply 5 times 2, and I would get 10. So that should be 8 to 10, not 8 to 20. So that one does not form a proportion. Let's try B here. I've got my initial ratio 4 to 5. I'm going to multiply it by some scale factor. Well, let's see, what would I multiply 4 by to get 20? That would be 5. Then I'll put the same number down at the bottom of the scale factor. And 5 times 5, that's 25. So this one checks out. And 20 to 25 does form a proportion with 4 to 5. So those are ratios forming a proportion.